So what we wanted to do was create the world's most secure browser. And what we wanted to do essentially was isolate the browser from the user and transform all the data into something that can only be safe. So you're essentially treating everything as untrusted and turning it into something that's guaranteed good. And I guess our eureka moment was the point where we twigged to the idea that the components we needed to do this with were ultra commoditized because they were the processors, the ARM processors built into every single cell phone and tablet on the planet. And the reason for this was that we could run two of these in parallel. We could have one cell phone running a browser, one cell phone chip running a browser, and we could connect the pins that would normally go to the screen of the cell phone into the pins, the physical pins that would go into the camera input of a second chip. So the second chip is literally watching a video of the first cell chip browse the internet. And then what we could do is put these pairs of chips into servers, put hundreds of them into a single server, and then build a cloud, a whole new style of cloud based on this new technology infrastructure. And the beautiful thing is obviously that these are commoditized devices, extremely low cost, so you get a very, very, very good price performance ratio. But because of this isolation, this physical separation between these chips, it's as close to as an air gap as you're ever going to get. This is extremely high level security. Pretty much all of today's cybersecurity infrastructure and industry is built on this idea that we're creating new software products to try and detect and respond to cyber threats. But therein lies the problem. You know, just to run a browser on a typical laptop or desktop is roughly 60 million lines of code when you put the operating system and the browser together. That's riddled with bugs. Each bug represents a potential vulnerability. And then on top of that, we're putting more complex software to try and protect everything below. It's like trying to build castles on foundations of sand. And therefore what we're trying to do is completely disrupt that, try and put the security right at the bottom of the stack in the fundamental hardware layer before it gets complex, and use that to protect everything above.